Okay.
Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future, but concentrate your mind. Welcome to Motivational Monday Live with me, your friends. And today is a wonderful day because it's Valentine's Day. So it's a day of love. And we are treatment, mind treatment. You know, today is a day of love, but many people, they will not really experience the love or encounter love because their mind is not in the right place. Maybe they are dwelling in the past or dreaming of the future and they are forgetting about the moment. Okay? I want to tell you, my friends, that it's an honor to have him in our show. It's an honor. I tell you the truth. Getting him, I am privileged to have him here with us today, all the way from the United States of America. Kosmyna,
Kosmyna, you're going in and out a
yes,
little
sir.
bit
You're
on my
welcome to
end,
the
but
show.
it's yes, Reverend Dr. Stephen J. Kosmyna. Thank you for having me. Thank you for that nice introduction.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So now I want us because I want my guests to know a little about you. So I would just want you to say one or two things about yourself so that my audience will get to know a little about you, our special guest.
Okay, I thank you. You know, I'm just a regular average guy like everybody else out there. Well, I was for a long time. I was just going through the motions, growing up in Detroit, and it was a trilogy of things that went on in my life, a trilogy of tribulation that had me going all the way to death's door. I almost died for a number of reasons. And I just had a complete turnaround, a complete shift in my life that led me down my spiritual path. And as we know, that if you change things around in your life, like you want to talk about mind treatment today, I treated my mind and said, and lined up with the scripture that says, seek ye first the kingdom, right? Seek first the kingdom, and then all these other things will be given to you. Everything else will fall into place. And that's exactly what happened with me is I started putting things in the right order. We know that order is heaven's first law. And when we put things in the right order, everything else in our life starts to line up. So I got ordained in New Thought, went to seminary, got ordained as a New Thought minister with Unity back in 2014. Proud to say we have so many Unity churches in Nigeria. There's over 50 of them. So I have a lot of friends looking in from out that way. And I've been on this spiritual path ever since, really all my life, but it was shrouded in clouds and in what we call error thought. And once I got that all straightened around, things went much, much better for me. So that's where I am. And I have a business I operate with my wife called Success Ocean International. We help people achieve their goals and objectives. I pastor a small church here in the panhandle of Florida in the United States. And life is pretty good. We live on the water on a small island, and we're loving life and helping others achieve all their goals.
Wow, wow, wow. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Stephen. I would say probably it's the first time I'm having a Reverend Doctor on the show. And I never really knew about that, okay? Though you've been telling me about the spiritual aspect a lot, but I didn't know you were a Reverend Doctor. So it's an honor to have you, and I'm excited to have you on the show. Now, I want you to talk to us about mind treatment. You see, all over the world, whether it's in Nigeria or Kenya, that have issues that commit suicide, that go into depression, in the right position or in the right place. Let me ask you, doctor, what is it that makes people's mind to have issues that leads to such problems like suicide, depression, and all those?
Well, one of the biggest things is from our limited human perspective, we react to the world around us. And I call that living from the outside in rather than living from the inside out. See, what is going on is we line up with things that are not really true about what we are. What we are is expressions of the divine. I see you talking and I want to make sure that I'm not walking over you. Are you speaking to me? Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to keep going then. So when we allow the shadows to move in, when we see something happening in the world around us, we tend to react from our humanness rather than from our divinity. And when we react from our humanness, from our humanity rather than our divinity, we also often react in a way that doesn't really serve our greater good, doesn't really express the divine reality of what we are in essence. You see, what I mean by that is we are all made of God. We are all one of God. I don't even say one with God anymore because that implies separation. So if we are one with God or one of God, and we would think from our divinity, think in alignment with the God of our being, our essence, what we're made of, we wouldn't react in ways to what's going around in the world around us. We would bring ourselves back to center and align with the divine I am. Now, you don't have to believe exactly like I do, but you have to know that the presence and power of God is within you. If God is everywhere present, then God is also in here. And so often what happens is people put their attention, something happens out there that hurts the human ego or offends the personality, and then they lash out and they want to get back at it or they want to fight against it. And we know that that's resistance and it just brings more of it on. When we can respond appropriately from the divinity we are, well, then the world in our world is a lot better place to live in. We come from a place of peace then and a place of calm. And too much exposure to the outside world and reacting is what causes those errors thoughts that have people say, I can't deal with it anymore. I want to get off. Stop the world. I want to get off. And unfortunately, too many people take that to an extreme. And I really think the answer is to go within, to go to that secret place of the most high within, to close the door to the outer world. We were taught that by our master teacher and way shower, to close the door, go in your room, which really means to shut out the outer world, to pray, to communicate, to get in alignment with our spiritual nature. I hope that makes sense to you.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Stephen. That was a very powerful one, and I really appreciate it. Now, before we continue, I would like you to say something about this. Today, like I said, is a special day. It's Valentine's Day. It's a day of love. It's a day when all over the world love is celebrated as a beautiful thing and all of that. But many people, they cannot experience love because their mind, something is wrong with their mind. Their mind is closed, if I will put it that way. So I don't know if you can tell us why is it that several people or many people can't experience love.
Well, first of all, and I did a talk on this yesterday, we have to, you can talk about romantic love and love with a significant nature, with a significant other, or you can talk about that love of the divine that's always on. For instance, It all starts with people having to love themselves first. If you're talking, let's talk first about being in a loving relationship. So many people go and they say, I want a loving relationship. I want a loving relationship with a significant other. But oftentimes there might be a selfish motive. Oftentimes people
Mm,
go into a relationship saying, well, I wonder what I can get. I wonder what I can get. Instead of
mm,
going into a relationship and saying, I wonder how I can give. I wonder how I can give. I wonder how much love I can give. I want to pour
mm.
out
Yeah.
more love. See, the secret to receiving anything, the secret to getting anything, whether it's finances, whether it's physical fitness, whether you want to release some weight, whether you want more finances, maybe you want more time and money freedom, the secret is being able to give that to other people. So in a relationship, people want, I want love, I want love. What are they focused on? They're focusing on they don't have that. And if we would look to even scripture for guidance, it says, those who have more will be given. Those who have not, even what they have will be taken away, because we're focused on what we don't want. Now, let's go look at it through the lens of the topic of your show today. You want a mind treatment for that. So if we identify what we want and we say, well,
Drop,
we really want more love in our lives,
drop those
we
things.
really want a loving relationship. Well, wouldn't it make sense to take our attention off what we don't want and start to treat the mind and affirm what we do want? How do we do that? We do that by getting away from the habit of expressing what we don't want and affirming. The affirmation is the mind treatment here in your example here. Great example, by the way. Great share, Prince. And so what we would do is we would simply say, I am so happy and grateful. I am now in a loving relationship. Thank you, God. And we would affirm that over and over and over again. And we would add things in that would support that. I have so much love to give. I am so happy and grateful. I have so much love to give. Every day when you start a new day, I'm so happy. I have so much love to give. I cannot wait to share my love with those around me in the world. And that should be our mind treatment day in and day out, especially for those seeking to experience more love. The more love you give out, the more love you're going to get in return. But give the love not so that you can get it back. Give that love just because you want to be that person of increase, just because we're all in this together. And it's just a better way to live life by giving love, by radiating that love, by showing people love. And this is more than just doing loving things. It's coming from the heart and knowing that, hey, we're all in this together and everybody is doing the best they can where they're at, and we love them anyway. I hope that makes sense.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much about that. Thank you so much for so much from what you just said. And one thing that is so powerful that you said there is that whatever in it is given. So if you need money, be a giver. If you need love, give love. Whatever you're looking for, whatever you need, powerful truth is a very powerful revelation, and I thank you so much for that. I still want you to say a little more about love before I go into another question. I still want you to say a little more about love. How can we have the mind treatment for somebody who is having issues with love, that has not been able to love, that is so self-conscious, all the time and all of that? How can his mind or her mind be treated such that he will be able to love more? What is it that can be done?
Well, the first thing that I would do and what I would suggest is we start with the very basics. We start with the elementary. Okay, let's just leave out the relationship type of love first of all, because we're unless we feel that love within, we're not going to experience the love without. Yes, everything I
Mm.
previously said is true. We have to give it. But if we can't find the love in ourselves to begin with, then we're going to move to a place in consciousness where we believe that we don't have any love to give away. And that's error thought. That is a mistake. So let's think about this. And I want to talk to everybody looking in here today. You have to know that you are unique and special. You are a creation of the divine. Think about it this way: everything in the world that you see, everything, whether it's the building behind you, Prince, whether it's the windows or the doors or the automobile or the pen in my pocket, it doesn't matter. Everything was created twice. First in someone's mind as an idea, and then taken from that invisible world of our imagination, that world of non-form, that invisible world, and then made into form. So guess what? So were you. Each and every one of you listening to this, each and every one of you listening to this was an idea in divine mind, a perfect idea, whole, healthy, complete, filled with life, abundant life. And you were so loved by Source, by your Creator, that you were moved from that image and that likeness and divine mind into this world of form. That's a tremendous amount of love that is your source. And that's still there. It didn't go anywhere. But what we do when we think from our limited human sense, what I call sense consciousness, and just taking all this stuff in from the outside and thinking from there, we tend to block the realization of that love that we are made of. We're literally made of love. The divine source, all that is, our creator, had this idea and says, I'm going to give life to this idea and call it the Prince. I'm going to give life to this idea and call it Stephen. I'm going to give life to this idea and call it Tanae. I'm going to give life to this idea and call it Olaremi. I'm going to give life. I have precious and nice and peace and family and all those all around the world looking in. Divine source gave you life. You have to step back. You have to go to that secret place, that quiet place, and say, that's right. I am made of love. If I am made of love, then I am responsible for putting debris, for putting clouds, for putting shadows on top of that love. So I have to do that work. That's the mind treatment we do, and take all that debris, take all that false thinking, take all that error thought off the love that we tend to smother it within us because we don't believe it's in there. We get to the point we're so conditioned by the outer world that there's no love in there, we start to believe it. And that's where we start running into the problems that you're talking about. When we believe and when we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are made of love, we can begin to live from that place, not puffed up in ego, but just walking in that power and strength that, wow, I am made of love. I am so much bigger than my conditions. I'm bigger than my surroundings. I am bigger than what's happening on the outside because I am made of divine love. So from this day forward, I want you all to affirm, I am so happy and grateful. I am made of divine love. I am so happy and grateful. From this day forward, I intend to live from the divine love I am. I am that I am. The holy presence of love is wholly present in me. I am that I am. There's your mind treatment for love.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, Reverend. We are so grateful. And that's a powerful one. That's a powerful one to share with us. If somebody is suffering from depression, what's the way out?
Okay, you cut out there. All I heard was if somebody's suffering some depression. What was the rest of that?
Yeah, what's the way out of depression if somebody is suffering from depression?
Well, first of all, I'm a metaphysical doctor, and I am not, I'm not a licensed psychotherapist or a psychologist or psychiatrist. I approach everything from the spiritual perspective. But I will tell you this: when we move into a state of depression, it's usually because we're not expressing our creativity. We're not giving form to what it is we really want to be, do, and have in this life. See, what happens is we have a new idea in mind, right? Maybe we have a new idea, a new dream. Like, remember when we were kids, it didn't take much if to use our imagination. We could get an old box and maybe an old blanket our mom gave us, and we could be Superman, we could be a race car driver, we could be a, a astronaut, whatever we wanted to be. So let's, for your example, and this is about depression, let's say we had a big dream in our lives and people started telling us, oh, that's not possible for you. You can't be, do, and have this. And then we started to believe that. We didn't keep living from our imagination. We didn't keep living from our dream. So what we did is we suppressed it. We kept it inside. But yet the divine idea says, hey, I made you because I want you to be, do, and have all these things in your life. I want you to shine your light. So we have that longing and discontent to be so much more. And what we start to do when we live from the outside in is we start to focus on what we don't have. And that leads us into a state of depression always, because if we're not expressing, if we're not being that divine expression, we're suppressing, and suppression leads to depression if we stay there long enough. So, to answer your question, we can't we can't move from depression all the way over to joy to the world. We can't make that big leap. It's too big of a leap to make all at once. So we move in gradual steps from depression. And what I like to suggest to people when I work with them, when we're depressed, and we recognize, first is we have to recognize and decide that, hey, I don't want to be there anymore. I don't want to be in a state of depression. I want to get to happy, but happy looks so far away. I don't know how to get there. So we're in this place of depression, but the first step is really to decide that we don't want to be there. It's making the choice. So now we've made the choice, but okay, I made the choice. I don't want to be depressed. What do I do next? Well, congratulations. You've made the choice that you don't want to be depressed. Let's go to work. The gradual next step move would be to move to a place of gratitude. See, we can't go all the way to happy and joy, but we can move to gratitude, which is a neutral spot. It's a neutral spot we can move to, even if we're in a state of depression, even if somebody has what they call bad things happening in their lives all around them. We can all, every single one of us, can find something to be grateful for. Everything. We're breathing. We can see, we can touch, we can hear. We have arms, we have legs, we have air to breathe, we have beautiful trees to look at, and landscaping, and water, and food, and we can just go on and on. So I would encourage someone that's experiencing depression to move into a regular practice of gratitude. That would be the first step. And every day, list 10 to 100 things that you're grateful for. Even if you're repeating some of the same things over and over and over again, make a list, write it down by hand. And as you make that list of what you're grateful for, a shift will take place in your consciousness. You'll start to realize that, wow, I have a lot to be grateful for in my life. What I have to be grateful for sure is a lot more powerful than these negative things that I was focused on. So as we start to give thanks, we realize that we are so blessed. And when we start to focus on those blessings, what we're doing is we're opening our heart and we're giving thanks. And remember, we talked about earlier, if we want to receive more, we give more. So it's the same thing with this practice. We're giving thanks. So we're giving thanks for all that we have, and in so doing, we're going to receive more of that good that we are. And we might receive that in different ways. I'm so happy and grateful that I have air to breathe, that I encounter other people that smile back at me. I'm so happy and grateful for this love that I am, that is of the divine. And guess what? More rushes in to lift us up, to lift us higher, to help us to rise to that next level. And that next level above gratitude would be trust. The kind of like the little brother or little sister to faith. We start trusting that we can make that shift. We start to say, hey, this is possible. I moved from depression to a place of gratitude where I'm neutral. So now I'm up to trust. So I say, well, I've got climbed this far. I can probably go further, or I did it before, so I can do it again. We start to recognize these things where we couldn't really recognize that in a state of depression. So we start moving from trust to faith. And then from faith, that faith turns into a real belief, a real knowing that we can do this. Yeah, I know this. And then we start to recognize, say, yes, I was depressed. I'm coming out of it. I have good days and bad days, but I know now. I know the process that I go from depression to gratitude to trust to faith to knowing to belief, and then we start to move to the other side of the needle. I'm doing this like the needle on a gas tank, okay? Going from empty to full. So then as we have that knowing that we're making the movement, even though we have some ups and some downs, we know that we are on our way, and we can affirm that and mind treat every day for that. I am so happy and grateful I have made that shift. I am so happy and grateful to know that this is possible for my life. I am so happy and grateful for all the blessings I have. I am so happy and grateful for all the love that I am. You do that enough time, you're going to move fairly quickly from depression to the side of joy.
Wow. Thank you so much, Reverend Doctor. I'm so grateful. Now, as we begin to wrap up the program today, I want you to share with us very briefly, just some few words on mind treatment, maybe some areas that you have not touched. Just share with us very briefly some things on mind treatment as we begin to wrap the program for today.
Mind treatment is really looking at the thoughts that are dominant in our mind that we have grown into the habit of believing in them.
Mm,
So maybe we believed that we're sickly. So how would we treat feeling sick or feeling down or feeling like we have to get over maybe we have a cold, or maybe we have something a little bit more serious. We have to again remember all everything that I've talked about during the course of this whole show. Where are we putting our attention? Are we giving our attention to what we don't want, or are we giving the attention to our truth? What is our truth? We're created in the image and likeness of God. We are created in the image and likeness of perfection. We are created in the image and likeness of love. We are created in the image and likeness of light, whole, healthy, and complete. And if we give our attention to the truth of what we are, not the way we might be feeling in a given moment, we're successfully starting to treat our minds, successfully starting to treat our consciousness, because we're affirming the truth of what we are. We're not giving our attention to the falsehood, to the error thought that says that we are something other than whole, healthy, and complete. Again, it's where just think in terms, in simplistic terms of giving and receiving. Where am I giving my attention? Am I giving my attention to the truth of what I am, or am I giving my attention to the falsehood of what I am not? Whatever you are giving into, you are going to get back. So if you keep affirming every day that I am so sick, you're going to get more of that. If you keep affirming and treating every day, I am so happy and grateful, I am healthy and whole and complete, made in the image and likeness of the divine, my creator, my source, divine love, then you're going to feel from that place more and more and more until you completely live from that light that blots out that shadow, that blots out that darkness of error thought, what we call error thought, wrong thinking that is affirming what you don't want.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Doctor. We are so grateful. I'm so grateful. And for those of you that are watching at the moment, please would like to get your comments. Please leave a comment. Let us know how you find the program today. Leave a comment for us and like, share this program. Let other people watch it so that they can also benefit from these powerful, inspirational words that the great doctor is sharing with us today. And for those of you that will watch the replay, also do the same thing. God bless you so much. Now, doctor, there is a topic in your program. There's a topic about five. I don't know if you remember five. There's a topic there, five.
Yeah, we're this week we've been talking about I have a PDF file called the simple 5-step manifestation procedure. And because seeing the work that I really do, my company, successocean.com, you can go to successocean.com to learn more about it. Or I'd really encourage your listeners to listen to my podcast, The Genesis Frequency. You can find it on Apple, Google, on Stitcher, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, or my website, thegenesisfrequency.com. And I got almost 200 episodes in there, all about how we make manifest in our world our hopes, wishes, desires, and dreams. In fact, we even work with small groups and we have ongoing programs and classes where people can sign up to work with us to help move them from where they are to their biggest dream, the dream they have no idea how it could possibly come true in their lives. So I encourage people to go to one of my websites, thegenesisfrequency.com, or to successocean.com and fill out a form, and we'll do a free call and help people identify what it is they really want, identify what's keeping them stuck, and then give them a plan to move them forward in a positive direction.
Okay.
But
Uh, uh,
yeah,
Reverend.
go ahead. I can't hear you. I'm not hearing anything.
Oh my God.
All right, there, you're back.
Okay. You have the sound is back.
I got appointments all scheduled tomorrow, but we can keep this going and come back a couple times because I'd like to, put something together and offer to your listeners where they could reach out and maybe give them a little offer and a way to grab this PDF and some easier ways to make an appointment with me. But we can all be doing have whatever it is we want to be doing have that'll satisfy that longing and discontent we have. The process that we're talking about is a 5-step manifestation process. It's really deciding what you want, committing to the process, writing it down, believing, having faith, visualizing, visioning, and practicing that gratitude for all that we've been given. We can do this, and so can everyone where you live in your country. And so we're going to continue to shine our light together and spread the word, spread the message that we can be, do, and have it all when we cooperate with the spiritual and universal laws of infinite potential. They're out there. We're working with them all the time. The thing is, most people don't know that they're working with these laws, that these laws are at work all the time. It's like gravity, it's always working. And these laws of manifestation, of making our dreams come true, are always at work, but so often we're using them in a negative direction and we don't even know it. The formula is always the same: thoughts plus feelings plus actions equals results. If you don't like the results, you have to change your thoughts. And that's what your show's been about today: how to change our thoughts, how to treat our mind so we're thinking in alignment with our highest self. I want to thank you for having me today, Prince. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I really look forward to having you again. I wish you were free tomorrow. Would have repeated this tomorrow, but I'm going to look for another time that will be convenient for you so that you can be on the show again because to do design your life. There's one of your topics that is very interesting that is called design your life. So I would like you to do that topic with us one of these days. So viewers, and there we have it, mind treatment. I'm sure you've had a wonderful time listening to the great Dr. Stephen Kosmyna speak to us all the way from the US. And I promise you, I'm going to bring him back on this show again. Thank you so much, Doctor. Please, we appreciate your wife and those that are working with you and those that have joined us in this program because of you. We appreciate every one of you. God bless you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you too. And thanks everybody for looking in. Really appreciate your time. But this is all for you because you can do it. I believe in you. You can be, do, and have it all. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. And so, till we come your way again, remember today is Valentine Day. It's a day of love. The love that accepts, the love that tolerates, and the love that the world needs so much love. There's too much hate in the world, too much anger in the world, too much bitterness. Let's show love. Let's show compassion. Let's show kindness. Let's show goodness. 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 Let's show kindness. Let's show
Okay, you
goodness.
cut out on me
Let's show
again.
kindness.
Well, maybe you can hear me. Maybe his internet's bad, but hey, you're
Share some
absolutely.
love. Talk to somebody that you have not spoken to for a long time. Share some love.
I